Oh, come on. Maybe a few more crushed almonds and that to be on the safe side.
Oh, would you be so good as to leave me here to ice the cake and go on upstairs and see if you can get that parlor ready to be able to serve mass there?
Good enough.
I think we'll need a small table and the Waterford cruet. That's going to need a bit of washing.
Done.
Yeah. And I think we'll want Aunt Agnes's woven linen tablecloth, if you don't mind. Yeah, I've packed it away in its own box. It's on top of the hall closet.
I know where it is.
Well, would you be so good to look inside and see if it needs a once-over with an iron? No matter how careful I am when I pack that Irish linen away, it always comes out creased.
Well, you'll just have to iron it out then, like you've ironed everything else out around here.
Oh, spare me your witticisms, please. Out.
Out. I'm going.
Good.
I'm going. I'm gone. Well, no, I'm not. I'm here.
Ah.
Here's the blushing groom.
Yep, delivering flowers. For the bride.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah. For the bride's mother.
Oh, that's exquisite. John, look, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's lovely. Lovely day.
And what is it they say about Irish weddings? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something, green.
The green carnation.
Yes.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, why don't we just pack him in the fridge, you know, to keep him fresh for a while,
yes,
huh?
yes. Here, put that in there.
Okay.
We'll make space in the kitchen. There. There we go, John. Go right in there like that.
I think the man's gone daft.
Oh, he's just loves your daughter and he wants to make peace with you, that's all.
Next thing you know, he'll be putting an O in front of his name.
Oh, John.
Oh, Maeve. I think I'll go upstairs and tend to things. Thanks again, Jack.
That was almost as much fun as making him mad. You see the look on his face?
Well, I'm afraid a friendly Jack Fidelli is going to take him a while to get used to.
Maybe you should have locked me and Johnny in the cellar a long time ago.
Oh, saints preserve us. We'd have had 2 coronaries and a broken house. No, but if you don't mind my saying, I wish you'd used these tactics a little earlier on. It might have saved, well, some of the misery that we've all gone through, you and Mary.
Tell me, oh Francis, who knows all things, what image should one project when one is marrying one's own husband? Hair up, hair down, or put on a scarf and forget the whole thing?
What difference does it make?
Oh, thanks a lot, but
If you're still stuck with the fact that you're beautiful, and Jack is the luckiest man on earth.
protect minerals. To have Jack, to have a second chance. And some of that I owe to you.
No, I was only one of the conspirators.
Much more. You were my rock. And so clear-headed through the worst times. You always managed to be on my side without being against Jack. You do like him, don't you?
Oh, sure I do.
Do you love him?
No, not yet. I respect him, yeah, and I admire him, and I feel that we're very close friends. But more important than any of that, I think the two of you are perfect for each other, and you belong together.
Oh, God bless you for that. I think you will love him once you see that his heart is finally in the right place.
On his sleeve, you mean?
Yes. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Frank, I'm so happy. From the bone happy. But it's not delirious or chaotic. It's more like harmony. Like the calm after a storm. Am I making any sense?
Oh, yeah. It feels good when the pain stops.
Right you are. Oh, speaking of pain, Patrick was here earlier, looking utterly bedraggled. Between the strike and Delia out of the hospital, the poor guy is ready to drop.
Yeah.
I told him to skip the wedding and stay home and get some sleep.
Well, that was very generous of you, love, but the fact remains Patrick is coming. He just called and said he didn't want to deprive Delia of the family occasion.
Deprive Delia. Somebody ought to deprive Delia of her head.
Well, she'll probably end up doing that herself.
You know, when that girl becomes rational enough to listen, I have such a speech.
I'm sure you do.
Speech? You, Albany. I'm going on, and you just got back from the state capitol. Well, tell me what happened. You knocked him dead, right?
Well, knocked him dead, no, but wounded them a little, yeah.
What about Mrs. Ray Woodard and her hotshot political organization? Tell me what you learned in the old smoky clubhouse back rooms.
Oh, you really want to hear that one, do you?
I really do.
All right. First thing I learned, kid, was how to talk out of the side of my mouth. It being easier to obscure the issues when you can't understand what the guy is saying. Then I learned step number 2, how to take your basic whole truth, break it down to your basic half-truth, and then convert that half-truth into a fancy slogan, a phrase. Yeah. Then a little touch of sawdust, cigar smoke.
I see. And tell me, Councilman, did you divulge your plan to become king of the universe?
Oh, no, kid. First, I had to get rid of some of the rinky-dink issues like fiscal responsibility, ecological balance, health, education, welfare, the national morality. You know what I mean, right?
Councilman, you're so humble. It's...
Yeah, humble. Thank you. That's what they told me at the cocktail reception after the speech, along with such adjectives as incisive, objective, hard-hitting, skillful, intellectual, gorgeous.
Modest.
Modest, yes. Thank you. Charismatic.
Excuse me, Councilman. I hate to interrupt you. But could we get back to you and Ray, isn't it?
Strictly business, my darling. Speech couldn't have gone better. That was underscored by the remarks later. Everybody just seemed to like what I had to say.
Oh, Frank, that's wonderful.
And you should have seen our Mrs. Woodard weave her way through a political gathering the way a fish goes through water.
Yeah? What kind of fish? A barracuda?
No. But no jellyfish either. I'm just beginning to understand the kind of political clout these Woodards had. It's no joke. And the scope of their organization. With their supporting me, I'm being handed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Oh, Frank, that's great.
Yeah.
It's almost too good to be true.
However, there was one unpleasant incident involving an unauthorized statement in Woodard's Albany paper.
You don't mean they gave you a stand on an issue without consulting you first?
You got it.
My dear Frank, that smacks of bossism.
But don't worry, I was very firm with her. My dear Mrs. Woodard, says I, while I appreciate your support of my campaign, may I remind you that I am nobody's puppet, I should say, and nobody makes an unauthorized statement on my behalf unless it's cleared with me first.
Damn right. Lay it on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ray understands that I'm nobody's man but my own.
Your own?
Yes. Yes, Polly. Look, for years, Bill has backed candidates, and I've helped. Then he launched his own campaign, and I helped with that. But now, for the very first time, I've got a candidate all my own. Mine. Let's order.
Ray Woodard, you never cease to amaze.
Why? Because of what I just told you about Frank Ryan?
Because of the wonderful way you've rallied. Need I remind you when last we visited at the hospital that your raison d'etre was lying on the brink while you contemplated a life of pushing wheelchairs and sipping hot milk?
Oh, yeah, I know. But I've changed. Oh, it's true. When I found out that Bill was going to be a semi-invalid, I did think that my life was going to have to stop. Oh, but Polly, I am too young to go into retirement.
Well, of course you are. Didn't I predict that? Honestly, you're a young and vibrant woman with a passion for living. Now, tell me more about this Frank Ryan you've acquired. Here we are. Fresh made.
Now, I have it from an unimpeachable source that Mrs. Greenberg's cheesecake is the best.
I wouldn't argue. You sure you wouldn't change your mind and have some too?
Not a chance. Just inhaling it puts on 5 pounds.
So, stay puny.
Puny? Oh, I love it. Well, in that case, bring me an extra fork and I'll have a teensy nibble. Remind me to write her into my will.
An extra fork.
That is yummy. Oh, Ray, how on earth did you find this place? It's so wonderfully ethnic.
Well, it comes highly recommended by Mr. Ryan.
Oh, I must tell you, speaking of in places to eat lunch, Bitsy took me to that dreadful little rabbit hutch in Soho. Would you believe shredded carrots and alfalfa sprouts? Actually, it was enormously helpful. I lost 1.25 pounds that day.
Polly, don't change an inch or an ounce. I love you just the way you are. You're perfect.
As are you, my love. Well, you've given me some of my best vicarious experiences. And I'm madly jealous. But you must never, never become idle or I'll die of boredom.
I know. So everybody keeps telling me, including Bill's doctors, I must stay busy for his sake and mine. Which is one reason why I have interested him in Frank Ryan's campaign. Oh, Polly, it is perfect. I mean, Frank isn't exactly an amateur, but then on the other hand, he's not a seasoned professional either. It is a made-to-order situation. With me and Bill's organization behind him, he could really go far in this state, and fast. Number 1, he's bright. Number 2, he's attractive. Number 3, he's an...
Interruption. Now, this is all fascinating. But tell me a little more about number 2. Just how attractive is Frank Ryan?
Polly, there's nothing like that. I promise you the only thing we have in common is a mutual love of politics.
Quel dommage. I've seen his picture in the paper.
Polly, you're not going to believe this, but really, there are other things in life besides who you are sleeping with.
Not to me, there isn't. Well. If it isn't the man with the stethoscope. Hello.
Dr. Coleridge, won't you join us? I'm sure you remember my friend, Mrs. Polly Longworth.
Yes. Yes, I'd like to if I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. Your timing is perfect. We were just discussing Riverside and its local talent.
Have you seen Bill?
Yes, I have, and he's sleeping like a baby.
Which he would not be doing if I were there. Good. Oh, what's the latest bulletin on the strike? It's really awful, Polly. They've had to move some of the patients to other hospitals.
Oh, what a bore. Couldn't they catch a cold or something?
Hello, Doctor.
Thank you. Well, the truth be told, some of the patients are faring much better than the senior doctors.
What do you mean?
Well, since the interns and residents aren't on the floor, I shouldn't laugh, but some of the senior members are being forced to do chores that they haven't done in 20 or 30 years.
Such as?
Such as good old Dr. Robert Tiello. He was trying to do a routine EKG, something he hasn't bothered with since med school, class of 1929. And there he was, trying to glue an electrode on with one hand while casting furtive glances at the other hand where he had a little diagram in his palm.
I sure hope he doesn't get anywhere near Bill.
No, not to worry. No, Bill isn't lacking care in any form. I've seen to that personally.
Well, that's reassuring, dear. But, Doctor, I don't see you on the picket line. Don't you believe in higher fees, too?
No, money isn't an issue in this strike, Mrs. Longworth. It's the quality of medicine at Riverside. I agree with the aims of the striking doctors. It's just that I deplore their methods.
Darling, do you make house calls?
Well, I'm sorry, but certain medical societies discourage the practice of neurosurgery on kitchen tables.
Well, that makes a certain sense. Oh, look. It's all gone, and I'm still ravished.
Why didn't you order some more?
Oh, coming in, I saw beautiful cherry cheese on the counter.
All right. I'll go have a peek. I mean, red dye number 2 is my absolute favorite.
It's all natural. Funny lady.
Mm-hmm, and very smart. And a very dear old friend, which is important these days.
Well, what about dear new friends? I missed you. And my bed doth await. You see, all work and no play makes Dr. Roger a very dull man. How about it?
Really should go see Bill.
And disregard your doctor's orders for him and for yourself?
Well, now, just what is my doctor ordering for me?
Me. Each other, mindless little interlude, tidbits, champagne, little music. Oh, Bach goes beautifully with champagne.
I have been feeling rather tired.
Well, perhaps you'd prefer Mantovani, Liberace, Lawrence
Quit it,
Welk.
stop, enough. Oh, you are so bad.
And you are so good to be bad, too.
My antennae tell me I've missed something marvelous.
No, we're just deep in conspiracy.
We're planning a desperate flight to Sardinia and the Casbah.
Well, believe it or not, I believe it.
Well, apparently, Mrs. Longworth, you don't know me very well. I'm a liar. Scout's honor.
Trouble is, I do know Ray, and she's capable of anything.
Next.
Somebody sewed the yellow sleeve up. Hi, Mom.
I told Ken that was here. Hello, darling.
Listen, I better get out of here before somebody puts a broom in my hand.
Oh,
I'll see you for dinner.
Absolutely.
Frank was just telling me all about his wonderful trip.
yes, it's been a grand day for the Ryans. Oh. Well, I suppose we've already had our eve of a wedding talk over a year ago, right? So there's nothing much less for me to say except, well, every day I become more and more certain that Jack's the right man for you.
Thanks, Ma. I wish Da agreed.
Oh, now. Isn't there an empty space hanging in the kitchen there where the bag used to be? Punching bag. No. Your father's longer on love than he is on stubbornness. He's going to come around. Jack's going to help. He brought him a green carnation.
He did. Oh, he is really trying, isn't he? I can't believe it.
Down to the kitchen.
What's all this about?
Nothing. We both just love you, that's all.
Oh, I can always use more of that. There's some flowers for you downstairs. Huh? Anything I can do?
Yes. My hair. Seriously, up or down? I can't decide. Nobody else around here cares.
Up. Definitely up, with lots of those little hairpin things. Hmm?
Hairpins and... Oh, some new fetish, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. I want the immense pleasure of taking them out, slowly, one by one.
In that case, I got 1 million of them.
You know, this is it's a nice room. Warm. Lived in. Hey,
What?
come here, look at this.
Oh, I know. Mother adamantly refused to put it away.
Oh, so much better this time, huh?
I'll say, for starters, you're here, you showed up, and sober, too. I...
Even looked like a jerk.
Oh, Angel, you did not. Oh, no.
You know, it's funny. I noticed all these pictures before, but I never really saw them. That you? The one with the volleyball?
No, that's Trevon.
What about this? This is an old one.
Oh, that's my sister Maura in Skibbereen. Oh, just think. Pretty soon we'll be seeing her in the flesh.
Yeah. What? Is that another relative?
In a manner of speaking. That's Ma. When she was a waitress at Donald's bar before it became Ryan's.
Wow. All the things she's done in her life. Came to a strange land. Raised 5 kids. Say nothing about turning Ryan's into a community living room for all the Riverside. Ma's pretty terrific.
Jack, do you hear yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, about what?
You just called Ma. Ma. Do you suppose you finally found yourself a mother?
I know I found a wife. Daughter. Mother. Yeah. Whole mantle full of relatives. What do you know about that?